Hello folks, welcome back. Today we're going to learn how to add sequences. I assure you that after this tutorial, you will know how to add sequences. Okay, let's start with a simple one so you can get the idea. 1 plus 2 plus 3. I mean, why add that when we have a formula to do this? And that formula goes like this. You take the first number of the sequence, you add it to the last number, and you divide it by 2, and then you multiply it by what I call the number of numbers. Okay, so the first number is 1, and the last number is 3, so we go 1 plus 3 divided by 2 times, how many numbers do we have? We have 3 numbers, so you multiply that by 3, and then you have 4 over 2 times 3, and that equals 6. So that's the sum of that short sequence. Now let's up it a little bit. Let's go 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. We take the first number, we add it to the last number, we divide that by 2, and then we multiply it by the number of numbers, which is 4 numbers. So we have 5 over 2 times 4, which is 20 over 2. Yeah, that equals 10. So that's the sum of those numbers. And by the way, the reason why one of the reasons why this makes sense is it's like taking the average, which is 2.5. The average is always the first number and the last number divided by 2. That's the average of every number, and it's just like adding 2.5 4 times. That's essentially what we're doing. Okay, let's try another one. Let's make it a little tougher. We go 11 plus 12 plus 13 plus 14 plus 15 plus 16 plus 17. So here we go again. We go the first number plus the last number. We divide it by 2, and we multiply it by the number of numbers, which in this case there's 7 numbers. So that would be 28 over 2 times 7, which is 14 over times 7, which is 98. So the sum of that sequence is 98. Now let's make it even tougher. We go 1 plus 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way to 100. So let's add up all those numbers, and we could do it super fast with this formula. We take the first number, we add it to the last number, we divide that by 2, and we multiply that by the number of numbers, which is 100. So then we'd have 101 divided by 2 times 100, which is 101. To simplify that, we would get 101 times 50, which equals 50. 50 is 5,050. So that's the sum of that big, long sequence. All right, let's add another little complexity to this. This one is all even numbers between 17 and 59. This formula works even if the numbers are not exactly consecutive, as long as they're a sequence that's like, spread out the same way between the numbers. So here, all even numbers between 17 and 59, 18 plus 20 plus 22, 24, 26, all the way to 58. We want to sort out how many even numbers there are between 17 and 59. When we have those even numbers, we got, 18 all the way to 58. There's 58 numbers, from 1 to 58, right? There's 58 numbers. And then the first 17, 1 through 17, is not in that mix. So we would take all that whole set of 1 through 58, which is 58 numbers. We would subtract it by 1 through 17, which is not in there. So we'd go 58 minus 17. So we know there's 41 numbers between and among 18 and 58. There's an odd number of numbers, so to speak. So there's 41. So there has to be either 21 even and 20 odd, or 21 odd and 20 even. And because 18 and 58, they're both even, so the first and the last one are even, there's going to be more even numbers in that sequence. So between 18 and 58, there's going to be more even numbers than odd numbers. So there should be 21 even numbers between 18 and 58, and 20 odd numbers between 18 and 58. So in that sequence, we have 21 even numbers. So now let's do the formula. We go the first number plus the last number divided by 2 times the number of numbers, which is 21. So we would have, 18 plus 58 is 76, divided by 2 times 21. That simplifies to 38 times 21, which is, let's do that real quick, 798. Okay, that's the answer. That's the sum, 798. And it makes sense because if 18 plus 58 divided by 2 is 38, 38 is the average of that whole sequence. It's 38, which is the median there. And you get that by adding the first and last number divided by 2. So it's equivalent to us just taking that average of 38 and adding it up 21 times. That's essentially what we did. Okay, let's keep at it. Let's keep doing these. Here we go. It works with any evenly distributed sequence. So 5 plus 10 plus 15 plus 20 plus 25, 30, 35, 40. You get the idea. So here we go. We take the first number, which is 5. We take the last number, which is 40. We divide that by 2. And then how many numbers do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 numbers. So we take that, we multiply by 8. So we get 45 over 2 times 8. We could simplify that to 45 times 4, which is 180. So that is the sum of that sequence, is 180. Let's keep doing it. Let's try this one. 16 plus 18 plus 20 plus 22 plus 24 all the way to 64, and all the even numbers there. So we're doing the even numbers between and among 16 and 64. Again, let's figure out how many numbers there are total between 16 and 64. We have 64 as 1 through 64 as 64 numbers, and we take out the first 15 because they're not in that sequence. So there's 49 numbers. That includes evens and odds. There's 49 numbers. So there has to be either 25 even and 24 odd, or 25 odd and 24 even, right? They can only be one, apart from each other. But because the first and the last number is even, there's going to be more even numbers between 16 and 64. So there are 25 even numbers between and among 16 and 64. Do the same formula. We go 16 plus 64, that's the first number and last number, divided by 2, times the number of numbers, which is 25. So we have 80 divided by 2 times 25. That's like 40 times 25. 40 times 25 is 1,000. So the sum of that sequence is 1,000. And once again, the average of that, if you take 16 plus 64, that's 80 divided by 2. The average of that sequence is 40. So what we did in essence is we just added 40 25 times because there's 25 numbers. So that's essentially what we did. That's why the formula works. Okay, let's try this one. 3 plus 6 plus 9 plus 12 plus 15 all the way to 90. So these are distributed by 3, obviously, because it starts 3, 6, 9 all the way to 90. Obviously, 9 divided by 3 is 30. So we have 30 numbers there. We have 30 numbers. We take the same formula. We go the first number plus the last number divided by 2. So we got 3 plus 90 divided by 2, multiplied by the number of numbers, which is 30. So we have 93 over 2 times 30. The 2 and the 30, that we can simplify those to 93 times 15. Let's do that real quick. That is 1,395. That's the answer to that one. So the sum of all those numbers is 1,395. Now it's your turn to do this one on your own. Here's a complex one that you should be able to get in about a minute. On your own, just do this one. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 all the way to 400. I want you to tabulate the sum of all integers between 1 and 400. If you add it all up, don't add them all up. That is too long. So use that formula of the first number plus the last number divided by 2 times the number of numbers, and you will get the answer. And put that answer in the comments, okay? If you want to keep getting better at math, hit this video right here. Do some more practice, and I promise you will keep getting better. All right, keep up the great work.